So I thought I knew what faithfulness was. I made my whole YouTube channel. A lot of who I am and what I portray myself to be to other people is be found faithful. I want to be found faithful based on 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. And yet, over the past month, I've struggled to be found faithful. Now, there's a whole lot of reasons that I can give, and some of them are valid. We were on a vacation early on in the month. I got sick. My wife went away to visit a friend, and I was still in vacation mode, and I was just bumming it out around the house. And then because of that, work came back in full force, and for the past 2 weeks, I've just been grinding it because semester's about to start, and all of these things just put my rhythms, my practices out of whack. And to be honest, it's been pretty chaotic. So what do you do when you've made your whole identity, the thing that you portray to other people, be about faithfulness, and then yet the person you are actually is struggling with faithfulness? Well, there's one thing that I was reminded of yesterday, but it's something that I've been learning to walk in recently, and it's identity. I was making who I was portrayed and trying to be in the secret place is faithful. But I had a wrong view of faithfulness. I was thinking so focused on my faithfulness to God, my faithfulness to my family, my faithfulness to my church and to the ministry, my faithfulness to my own spiritual disciplines, when I forgot that my faithfulness isn't grounded on my effort. My faithfulness is actually based on the faithfulness of God. I want to read for you 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13, and it's talking about God. It says, "If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot deny himself." And this is something that I just completely forgot. I was striving. I was just trying to get back to a sense of normalcy. I was trying to get myself to be faithful, quite literally white knuckling it, trying to show up every morning, trying to pick the right time, trying to pick the right method of just getting back to a groove of faithfulness. And yet I kept plummeting over and over and over again. And I would just get busy and hurried and irritated and agitated, and nothing was working. But yesterday, I was reminded of just some incredible truths. It's not us trying to put in effort in order to gain an identity. So for me, that was faithfulness. It was actually reminding myself of the identity that I have, that even when I'm faithless, God remains faithful to me. As crazy as that sounds, that's what the Bible teaches us, is that even when we're faithless, when we aren't faithful to our God, he remains faithful to us. And because of that, now I get to walk in faithfulness. There's this desire in me that wants to remain faithful to him, because how can I not repay my God, who's been so good, who's been so gracious, who's been so faithful to me? How could I not respond in faithfulness to him with my life, with my wife, with my children, with the ministry that he's entrusted me with? And so if there's any encouragement that I can give with you, I know this video is short, but if there's anything that I've learned and if it could be a blessing to you, is yes, be found faithful. But the only reason and the only way you can be found faithful is when you remember that God has when you remember that God has been faithful to you. And that's just something that I'm wrestling with. I'm learning on this journey, trying to get back into content creation, trying to get back into just everyday faithfulness, reading my Bible, journaling again, doing all the rhythms that I was trying to get to. And I'm not trying to just 0 to 100 that's not the goal here. The goal is being found faithful in the things that God has entrusted me. And I hope that if you're struggling with that too, maybe summer has been chaotic, maybe things have been on the up and down and just can't find a sense of normalcy, let me just encourage you to start with your identity. If you are a believer in Christ Jesus, through faith in Christ, you have been adopted into the family of God. You are a child of God. You're a son, you're a daughter of the King. And so therefore, start from that identity, and then from there, you will begin to develop faithfulness, right? He has been faithful to you, so now you can be faithful to him. Don't try to do it the other way around. Learn from my mistakes. One of the things my dad taught me from an early age, he said, it is good to learn from your own mistakes. It's even better to learn from the mistakes of others. And so here is an opportunity for you to learn from my mistake. Don't try to white knuckle yourself to faithfulness. Learn. Remember that God has first been faithful to you. Now you can choose to be faithful to him. I really hope that blesses you. If that does, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and as always, you can check out this video here that YouTube will recommend you from my channel, or you can learn about all the other things with journaling, spiritual disciplines right here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.